Okay, my name is Sulem Urbina, and I'm 22 years old.
Okay, so tell me more. I mean, obviously you're a female boxer, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so how long have you been boxing?
Actually, this is my this month I have 7 years boxing.
Wow.
So it's been a journey.
Okay, so I don't know much about you, and obviously the fans that I'm doing of boxing, some of them may not know who you are. So we're gonna do an in-depth interview with you and find out a lot more about Slim.
Sounds good to me.
That sounds great to me too. So okay, let's take you right back to when you first started boxing. What got you into
Um, I,
boxing?
I started boxing at 11 years old. My brother started attending a local boxing gym, so I begged for them to take me because I was always a very active girl. I liked sports a lot. I liked staying active. So they started to take me to a boxing gym, and I fell in love with beating up people. I enjoyed it very much.
So this boxing gym, where was this boxing gym that you went to?
It's a local boxing club in Phoenix, Arizona, and
Ah,
South. Yep.
Phoenix, Arizona. So where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico.
To
That's where I was
Mexico.
born.
Great.
Yep.
So there's so many Mexican legends. Some Julio Cesar Chavez. So I guess now you've got Eric Morales. We could go on and on and on and on of Mexican legends. When you were growing up at 11 years old, for example, who was your? Did you have an inspiration? Was there any Mexican fighters that you looked at and thought, wow, I'd like to be like them as a female fighter?
Well, growing up, I watched Cesar Chavez, Vargas, De La Hoya. So, I
Uh
mean,
huh.
they were all great inspirations to me. It was just the attitudes that they went in there with, and I just enjoyed watching them so much. And boxing's so big in the Hispanic culture
Yes.
that it just took me away. So definitely, they were a big inspiration. Juan Manuel Marquez, Terrible Morales, like you said.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Wow. It's like it's like there is almost because I'm from the UK, although I'm in the Caribbean now in Grenada. I mean, when you watch TV and you watch Mexicans, it's like there's no such thing as a coward Mexican. There's always they're all brave, they're all strong, they all fight with their heart. They're all they're all real tough guys, real tough. No sissies. And even if there were sissies, they'd keep them real quiet because all the Mexicans are tough and rugged and heroes. And growing up, even I as a growing up as a boxer, I always admired the Mexicans because of that toughness, that strength.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, Mexicans, I mean, we just go in there and we love to fight. We go in there and we put on a good show for everybody and we're not scared. We just want to get ready to get down. That's really what we love doing, and it's something that we have. You can't explain it. You can't explain it. It's something that we have, and that's Mexicans for you.
It's in the genes, as they say, in the DNA.
Yep, exactly.
So all right, so okay, so you're 11 years old, you get in the gym, and you're messing around with obviously with your brothers. You're in there. So what was it like when you first got in the gym and you took the first punch on the chin or on the nose? What did that feel like? What was that experience like?
I remember the first time I was hit. I always sparred with boys because there wasn't many girls around.
Okay.
But the first time I sparred, I was nervous and I was kind of didn't know what to expect. But once I went in there and I got hit, I got so mad. I remember, and I just started going all out on the boy I was sparring, and it just started throwing nonstop, and I was so mad. But it was so much fun.
So
That's exactly.
the American term is you hulked up, you got mad, you turned green, and you went at him.
Yeah, I turned into Hulk, mini Hulk.
Wow, that poor boy. Oh, I feel sorry for him. So so you got hit there. I mean, did that not discourage you? Think, oh, I got hit on the nose, I got hit on the chin. Because there's one thing looking at boxing on TV, even watching somebody else do it. But when you step inside those ropes and somebody hits you back on the chin or hits you on the nose, you start seeing stars, there's blood coming out your nose. You get there's certain questions that go through your mind, and one of those questions are, why am I here? Why am I doing this? What was it that kept you going?
You know what? Yeah, when you go in there, you get hit, but I don't know. I'm kind of weird. I kind of enjoy it sometimes because it helps me. I get even more mad, and I get so into it that you just you enjoy it. You enjoy being in there, and then I really enjoy fighting somebody that has a good skill level because it only means that if I beat them, I'm that much better than them. So I mean, it's just motivating myself and knowing what I'm here for that doesn't let me question why am I doing this, you know?
Yes, good answer.
I'm
Good answer.
hunger. I'm just hungry for it.
You're
That's all it
hungry.
is.
So the
Yeah.
11-year-old, the 11-year-old, gets in the gym, starts fighting. So when did you want your first? When did you say to yourself, you know what, I want to have my first fight? When was that? Was that something your trainer decided, or something that you decided?
Well, my trainer, they had seen me in the gym for a while already. And so they decided that I was ready to go in for my first fight. So I had my first fight.
So who was your? Do you remember who your first amateur bout was against?
I do not remember her name, but I remember it was a girl from the reservation from here from Arizona,
Okay.
and I know that she had been boxing for a while because her cousins, I just remember her last name. They're Sosis.
Okay.
So I just knew that she'd been boxing for a while because she came from a family of boxers. So I was kind of nervous going in there, but thank God we got the win. So I started off on my right foot.
Did that not intimidate you? She'd had so much more experience than you. She came from a boxing family. Did that not intimidate you? Oh my God, this could be a tough fight. This girl could beat me. What was going through your
Um,
mind?
I I think, well, I was nervous. I mean, I think every boxer gets nervous before their first fight. But I wasn't intimidated. I felt happy with myself. I felt I had trained hard, so I felt ready. So no, I wasn't intimidated or anything like that. I just wanted to fight, so I was more excited about actually going into the ring for my first fight.
So you had your first amateur bout, and you were happy with that. So then after that, what happens? What does Salim do after that? She's had her first amateur bout. Talk to me about what's happened since then. What was your first
I
amateur fight?
ha- I had about four more amateur fights at that gym.
Mm.
And then my mother wasn't really too happy with me boxing, and I had to just help around the house, and it just got really hard to be able to keep going to the gym. I didn't have that backbone to just help me keep training, so I had to stop boxing, and I just focused on school. So the whole time up to about seven till I was at 16 and a half, I I wasn't training anymore. But I decided to go back to the gym because that's what I really wanted to do. And at 16 and a half, I just started. I went all in and I started boxing again. And I've been doing it nonstop
I
since.
want to go back to that point of, because I know you may not know about BaylorIC TV and the origin of it, but we look on the show to talk to champions, people that have come through adversity. And you've got a very interesting point you mentioned there, that your family or your mother stopped you from doing something that you loved. And there are so many young people out there that have a desire to do something, but they get disheartened and get sidetracked because their parents say, you know what, you can't go and play football, you can't go and box, or you can't play whatever. You can't do what you need to do. You've got to do what your parent tells you to do. And then what happens is they never return to it. What was it that kept you, even though you'd had all these other things that you had to do? You had to go to school, you had to help around the house, your mum didn't want you to do it. What kept you going? Because for me, I know that my mum never wanted me to box. My gran never wanted me to box. And in some ways, that was kind of like it, it encouraged me to want to go back and box even more so because they didn't want me to do it. So how did that work for you?
Well, it was, I didn't. When I would turn 16, I started driving. So it wasn't, I didn't have to be depending on my mother to drive me to the gym and back or any of that stuff. And I was more mature, so I could get whatever I needed to get done at home before leaving to the gym so much faster. So I just always stayed around the boxing community. I would go to like amateur boxing events and watch, and I just knew that something was missing, that I really wanted, my heart wanted to go back to the gym. So I just think I just missed it so much because that I had so much fun when I was little boxing, and when I wasn't, it's just I felt like my heart, there was something missing, and that's what really made me want to go back. And I wanted to show everybody that, not because I was a little girl, a little small, tiny, scrawny girl at that time, that I could prove everybody that I could do something with boxing. So I just wanted to prove everybody wrong.
Interesting. So what was your relationship with your trainer like at the time? Before you'd obviously when you were training in gym and obviously you stopped at the gym, what was your relationship like with your trainer up to that point?
Well, I he didn't really train me too much. He didn't really pay too much attention to me at
Sounds
that
familiar.
time.
Sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
so yeah, so it was like he didn't really. I mean, I remember one time they forgot to pick me up to take me to a competition.
Oh
So
dear. Ouch.
so I knew that I wasn't at the right gym either. So
I I did an interview last week with, I don't know if you know who Tyson Fury is. He's fighting Steve Cunningham on April 20th at
yes,
Madison
yes,
Square
I've
Garden.
heard of
Yes, I did an
him.
interview with his cousin. He's got a debut a fight in Canada this
Mhm,
weekend, and he and myself and him discussed about being at the wrong gym
mhm.
and the
Yeah.
telltale signs of being in the wrong gym. So for you, how did, apart from the fact that you didn't get picked up to go to a boxing competition, well, that's like a red flag. You know what? Maybe this isn't the right gym for me. What else was it that made you realise that the gym wasn't for you?
That gym just, it was, they really didn't pay too much attention to me because I don't know, because it was mainly their family that they paid attention to, so I wasn't
Ah.
part of the family, so it was kind of, I was an outsider. And then
Were there many females at the gym when you were boxing, or was it just you, or just this one girl came in and trained?
actually at that time there was a few girls that were older than me.
Ah.
There was like three or four girls that were older than me. I was one of the smallest ones, so at that time in that gym.
So,
But yeah, they would always forget, like when we had sparring days or whatever. They would forget about me, and I'm like, well, so what do I do? Am I gonna spar, not spar? I would have to go up to them to ask them what's next, because they really forgot about me. So
see,
that was definitely not the right gym for me.
it's quite funny because it's quite opposite for me. They would ignore me until it was time for sparring, and they'd say, "Could you come and give my mate a spar now?" I said, "What?" It's quite opposite. I said, what's going on?" And then the cheek of it, they'd ask me to come and do the sparring session, and then the trainer would say to me, "Oh, just stand there so he can hit you." I said, "What?" I said, I'd say, "What? You asking
Oh.
me to stand in the ring, a sparring session, and let this other guy unload on me for free?" I said, "I'm not doing that." But they'd love the sparring session because they wanted to try and knock me over, and they couldn't do it because I was running around the ring, throwing these jabs and grabbing and holding, doing all these funny things. So, yeah, wow, that's interesting. So, okay, so that day when you got left behind from the competition, did you not feel to yourself, why have they done this to me? What's the point? Did you ever give up on
I
yourself?
I felt very discouraged. I felt, I mean, how can my coach not remember to come pick me up to take me to competition? That's just, it just didn't seem right to me. So I just, I knew I wasn't a part of that team because I just didn't feel like I was. So I did get discouraged, and it also helped for my mom to be like, see, they didn't even come pick you up, and they
Mm.
forgot about you, and it was very discouraging.
And of course, when you have a situation like that and you tell your family and they don't want you to do something, they're in it. They turn around and say to you like, "I thought you weren't
Exactly.
any good anyway. That's why they didn't pick you up. See, I told you the boxing's not good for you. Go and do your
E-
studies." you know.
Exactly. Go and do the dishes. Not.
Dude, so I guess as well, with all that, you probably had anger inside of you as well. You probably wanted to punch your trainer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So okay, so you're at that stage. You know you're pretty upset. You don't get to go to this boxing tournament. You also now in a situation where you're no longer able to go to the gym and box. You've now and then you've moved on from that. You've got a car. You're driving around. You can get to the shows. You can get to the gym. You're back in the gym. So then what happens to Lim?
Ever since I was little, I would there was a gym named Knockout Boxing Club that had very successful fighters.
Okay,
I mean, all these kids would always win nationals. They were the best in the state. So I knew that I needed to go to start attending that gym, not just any gym. I wanted to go to that one because they had the you just knew that that coach knew what he was doing because all his kids were good. It
champions,
wasn't just one of them, it was all of them. They were all great.
right?
So I decided to start attending Knockout Boxing Club at 16 and a half. That was the gym I picked, and I've never been happier.
What was the train? What's the trainer's name?
He I actually married him. His name is Andrew Soto.
Oh, you married him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I liked the
that
gym so
always
much that I wound up marrying him.
well that ends up helping, doesn't it? You married
Yeah,
the trainer. Well, you know,
exactly.
wow, what a that's even stunned me now. Wow, that's even more of a story. So go ahead, tell me more about this. There's more to know. I've got to know more. No, wow, tell me.
Well, we were just we were training, and for a long time there was nothing there. It was just my coach, and just it just happened out of nowhere at 19 years old, and we fell in love and we got married.
Okay, cool.
Wound up get,
Well,
yeah, just the
fabulous.
least expected.
Yeah, that was very. That's a bit of a turn up for the books, but there you go. Excellent stuff. So okay, let's go back to boxing, right? So now you obviously
hmm
you've got to 19 now. What happened with your career then? What have you done? What did you do there? I mean, you went to this gym, which was a very successful gym. How did that affect your boxing career?
I just he picked me up and he just taught me everything I know. He taught me everything I know now. I have 45 fights with him now,
Hmm.
and I've competed international. I've represented Mexico.
Hmm.
I've won nationals in Mexico. I've competed everywhere in the U.S. I'm a very interesting fighter. If you see me fight, I
Right. So
have a very high skill level.
right. So you've fought at you've fought internationally.
hmm
So tell me what it was like to fight internationally. The experiences of now fighting outside of what you know and who you know and the area you know. What was it like to fight in your first international tournament? What was that like?
My first international competition was in Brazil,
Okay.
and I learned so much because I discovered that international style is so much different from just fighting state, locally, and at national level. Just the way the scoring is, just everything, the whole skill, everything is so much different. So I mean, I learned a lot. I got a bronze medal in Brazil, and I learned so much in that competition.
What was it? What was the difference you think between boxing at club or at national level and then international? What was the difference? If you would put it down to one thing, what do you think it was?
I think technique, technique. Obviously, international, you're such a higher level. Just it's a lot of technique. It's a lot of a chess game because you're fighting. It's more like you're fighting somebody that is at the same skill level as you are. So it's it's outsmarting one another. It's not so much of a brawl anymore. It's you gotta outsmart the other person. You gotta be more skillful. You gotta be faster. Just gotta show them that you're way better than them with your skill. You gotta be clean. You gotta be sharp. Everything is just so much neater.
So you got a bronze in your first international tournament, okay? So you come away from that, and what was it? What was so? What did you fundamentally have to do when you went back to the gym? Because you hear the expression a lot in training or in fights when somebody gets knocked out or they get beat. We're going back to the drawing board. What did Sulem do after winning that bronze medal? Obviously, you won a bronze medal, so you couldn't have been that bad internationally, right? So you want to listen. You came away with a
Right.
bronze medal. If you were that bad, you would have won no medal, right? So you got a bronze. So you come back to the gym. What did you work on? What did you and your trainer work on to improve you?
The first thing was my speed. I needed to become sharper, be faster, and I needed to be my footwork needed to be so much faster. I needed to be lighter on my feet.
Okay.
So that was the first thing that we went into, and just footwork and being speed. That was the main thing.
So can you remember the sort of exercises you were doing, for example?
It was a lot of basic, going back to the basics and sharpening up the basics, like just basically learning how to walk again in boxing, staying sharp on my pivots, my zigzagging, my shuffling around the gym, being sharp off of shuffles, just those kinds of things to sharpen up my footwork.
See,
And with
go ahead.
what was that?
See, go ahead, go ahead.
With that, I mean, the speed just came with it.
You see, now you say something like that, and that is so crucial because in today's media and interviews, they say to you, "Oh, so you're going to go back to the drawing board?" And then the fighter says, "Yeah, we're going to go back to the drawing board." When you're going back to the drawing board, what exactly are you going to do? Oh, we're going to tighten up in some areas. So what exactly do you mean by tighten up? We never ever find out what tightening up means. So when I'm asking you these questions, it's simply because I don't know exactly what you'd have to do.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm asking a bit more. So you do these things, and then when was it, the next tournament you took part in? What happened then?
The next tournament after that, actually, I came home
Yes.
because I had been training at the Olympic Center
Right.
for 5 months to
Wow.
go to Brazil.
Wow.
So I came back home, and I started working everything with my coach at home, which
Right.
is my husband. And
Yes.
the next tournament, I believe, was I can't remember. I can't remember what was the tournament after Brazil. Oh, after Brazil, I went to another competition, uh, a duel in Oxnard against USA. It was
Oxnard.
US.
It's that from Fernando Vargas.
Yes, that's where he's from.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. There you go.
And I fought at the duel against USA and against Poland. It was a great experience. I fought so many different girls every day. It was a 5-day competition.
Right.
So it was I fought a different girl every day. So I learned so many different styles. Um, and it was a duel, so it wasn't like I had to be winning every day to fight. It was
Okay.
just set up fights every day, and
Right.
it was really mind blowing.
So you've done that. You've gone through all that. Then what happened? What after you've gone to this competition? What happens next after that for you?
Well, I was trying to make the Olympic team
Yes.
for 2012 through Mexico,
Right.
but unfortunately I couldn't travel in and out of the country
Okay.
because I was uh, getting things fixed here in the U.S., so I couldn't travel out of the country,
Right.
and I got stuck and I missed the Olympic trials in Mexico City.
Right.
So unfortunately I wasn't able to attend that,
Okay.
and that's where I'm at right now. I can finally travel in and out of the country and everything, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to wait for the next Olympics or if I want to turn pro. So that's where we're
Okay.
at right now.
You're at that stage now. What weight do you fight at?
I fight at 112,
112.
51 kilograms.
So
Yep.
that would be obviously you know who Ava Knight is then.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I did an interview with Ava Knight, and she says there's more money in amateur boxing for females than pro boxing. What are your thoughts about this?
I think right now there is a lot of money in amateur boxing, and the pros definitely need to be recognized more for all the hard work they do.
Hmm.
But I just we need to get somebody to invest more in pro boxing. That's what I think.
Okay.
Um,
So how does this work for you? What is going to be the deciding factor for Sulem in terms of staying at amateur or going pro? What are you waiting for? Is it a financial thing? Is it a motivation thing? So I think you're highly motivated. What is it for you?
Just really, my mind isn't really made up about what I want to do. If I want to go and represent Mexico again,
Okay.
and if I do, I have to stay over there because the the Mexican Olympic team wants their fighters to be staying at the Olympic Center. So I have to decide if I want to do that and spend a few more years over there, or stay here, stay amateur, and because I'm attending school, so school plays a factor in this too. So I want to stay here and just really make up my mind. I don't know if I want to sit here and wait for 2016, or if I see the opportunity that I can do something in the pros and just turn pro. I think the deciding factor is going to be if I'm able to stay busy in the pros or not. That's what worries me the most, is if I'm going to be able to be fighting constantly in the pros, or if I'm just going to be sitting on the bench. I think that's going to be the deciding factor.
What about world championships? In terms of, could you go and fight for the world championship, the amateur world championships?
I haven't. I was actually supposed to go in 2010
Right.
to Barbados. I think it was in Barbados.
Okay.
But there's too many politics in Mexico. Sometimes they another boxer offered to pay her way and a coach's way, so they just decided to take her in my weight class because she could pay for it. So I got bumped off.
So you mean it works like that?
What was that?
That's the way it goes. If you pay your way, you go.
It's not supposed to, but it happened that time.
And
It's not supposed to.
so, wow. I
So
mean,
they bumped me off.
so Layla Ali made a statement. According to Ava Knight, now she said that she doesn't support female boxing. How many, in terms of female boxing, did you have any female boxers that you looked up to growing up?
Growing up, I definitely looked at Ann Wolf.
Okay.
Ann Wolf, I don't know if you know her.
Yeah, I know
She
Anne
was,
Wolf.
yeah, she was my inspiration. I mean, she would just go in there and just annihilate these women. So growing up, I definitely looked up to her.
Okay. What did you think of Riker?
Oh, she had great technique. I would have loved to see her and Ann Wolf fight. Too
Yes.
bad it didn't happen, but but yeah, Riker, she had great technique. She was really good.
I think the next big female fight. There's two female fights coming up. I believe that me and St. John's going to be fighting. What's the name again? I can't remember the girl's name again. I think she's Swedish or she's Dutch. The first lady. Oh,
I know,
Bremer, not Bremer.
and I forget.
And I know the lady
Yeah.
because yes, it's
I forget her
Cecilia
name.
Breakers.
Uh,
Cecilia Breakers.
yeah, Cecilia Breakers. Yeah,
Yes, is going to fight
Yeah.
Mia St. John.
yeah.
Now, I remember watching me and St. John growing up, watching me and St. John boxing, and watching her beat all these people up. And then suddenly she came across a girl who could really fight. And I got a shock of my life seeing her get knocked down. It was
It's gonna
just,
be. I'm excited to see that one happen.
how do you think it's going to go?
Hello.
Hello?
Oh,
I can hear you. How do you
can
think
you
it's
hear
going to go? Yeah, I can hear you. How do you think it's going to go?
It's gonna be a tough fight. I mean, Mia St. John has a lot of experience, but I think Breakers is gonna. I think that's who's gonna win. I think they're gonna go to war, but I think the winner will be Breakers.
Wow. Breakers got. There's a lady that Breakers went to fight called Home. I think it's Home.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's the super fight that everyone's talking about now.
Yeah.
So I guess in your weight class, if you were to step into the pros, someone like Ava Knight is somebody you could realistically fight.
Yeah. Yeah. We're in the same weight class. So that could happen.
Have you ever? You've obviously watched Ava fight a few times.
Yes.
And what do you think of Ava's skill level?
No, I think Ava's really good. She's tough. She has great power. So I mean, she's up there for a reason. She she goes in there and she puts in the work in the gym to be able to show off in the ring. So I mean, she's very strong and
What are your
she's
thoughts?
really good.
What are your thoughts on the little the spat or the feud between Ava Knight and the girl who I think she just won
Hello,
US Olympics? I can't remember her name is. I can't remember. She got a funny.
no,
I can't.
Marlene.
Yes, that's her. More or less.
Yeah,
She was saying that she'll take off her head guard and she'll take
yeah.
Ava Knight tomorrow.
I think they both have their valid points. I think they both have their valid points. I just think it was a miscommunication between the two of them, and it's sad that it's like that. But
Is it
I
really?
understand both
Wait,
their
wait, wait,
point of views.
wait. On it. Look. Sulem, is it really sad? Do you really think it's sad? Come on.
I, well, I,
Boxing needs it. Boxing needs some hype. Female boxing particularly needs a hype. It needs a misunderstanding. It needs it. God, it needs it.
yeah, true. It does need hype. It does need hype. I just think I, it does need hype, but I think there's different ways of doing it.
Look. I mean, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. I mean, he was a big trash talker. He could fight, but I mean,
Yeah, sure. He backed that up.
I backed it up. And let's be honest, female boxing does need an injection of life in it. Don't you
Yeah,
think?
it's true. Yeah, I agree with you.
So this big talk from this amateur boxer saying that she's gonna beat up this professional fighter, this three-time world champion. I mean, come on, that's surely got to put bums on seats.
Yeah, definitely.
It does. I
I
mean,
think,
you see, even
yeah,
you're smiling, so obviously you know that that's what's necessary. I mean, it's not particularly nice.
yeah,
No, it is nice because it's got me even more. I'm interested in Ava Knight, but now it's got me interested in this other girl to see, can she beat Ava Knight? Is it possible? And it's like, Ava Knight, she's the world champion. Man, she's got to put her in her place. So it's like, this could be a good fight if it happens.
yeah. No, definitely, and I know it would put seats on in the arena. So yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I want to see the best for female boxing. I'm one of these guys
Yeah,
that grew up watching the big super fights, watching the fights, and having female fights on as well. Christy Martin, when she had that grudge match with Layla Ali, you
yeah,
know, Christy Martin when she fought against Mia St. Did she fight Mia St. John? She did fight Mia St. John.
yeah. She did.
She did. So
She
fights
did. She beat her. Yeah,
exactly, and then Layla Ali in her fights as well. You know, those things, those were entertaining times. But I mean, according to Ava again, I mean, he talks about Oscar De La Hoya, how he really isn't too interested in promoting female fights. Why do you think there's such um, a lack of interest in female fights today? And all many of the fights are shown in Mexico.
I really don't understand why. We go in there, we work twice as hard as the men do, and we go in there and we give a hell of a show. So I mean, it's we. I don't know what it is that they want us to do to show them that we can go in there and fill up an arena. I mean, we just need somebody to just back us up once, and once they do that, once everybody really sees what female boxing is really all about, I mean, I know they'll fall in love with us because we go in there and we go to war right away. We don't play around. Um, but I really don't understand why they're not interested in it yet. I just think they haven't seen too much of it to be interested yet. But once they do, I think we're gonna shoot right up.
Don't you feel? But don't you feel? Do you feel discouraged with what you're seeing in female boxing? Because I mean, if you're seeing it's more financial to stay an amateur rather than turn pro, well then that may be the fact that you do not turn pro because of that same factor, money.
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. But I think that if I was to turn pro, I just gotta make sure that I'm surrounded by the right people to be able to market myself the right way and actually and just make a difference in pro boxing. I think I can make a difference in pro boxing. So,
Have you
I mean,
have you
whichever way I decide to go, I think I can make a difference either way.
have you ever thought about reaching out to Ava Knight and speaking to her about it? Because obviously she's she's been there and she sounds very similar to you in terms of what she wants to do in boxing. Have you ever reached out to her?
I've spoken to Ava a few times, but not really in a deep conversation. But I would really love to speak to her and see her point of view.
Wow, wow. Before I come to an end of this conversation with you, it's been a fantastic interview. I want to know, in terms of, do you have a Twitter account? Do you have a Twitter account people can follow you or watch or see what you're about?
Yes, my Twitter is at Sulem Urbina, so you guys can follow me on there, and I'm always tweeting. So, and I also have my fan page on Facebook, which is
Excellent.
Sulem Urbina Soto.
Okay, and YouTube. Do you have a YouTube channel?
No, I don't. I don't have a YouTube channel yet.
Right. Well, you need to get those videos up so we can watch you fighting, Salim.
Yeah, definitely, I will.
Okay, Salim. Thank you so much for talking to BaylorIC TV.
No, thank you for having me. It was very fun.
I really enjoyed talking to you. It's so great to hear someone passionate about boxing and so honest, talking about the amateur game, the professional game, and you're kind of like on the edge at the moment. So I look forward to speaking to you soon. Hopefully, next time I talk to you, you may have turned pro.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun on this interview. So
Take care.
hope to stay in touch. Thank you.
No problem. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.